Good morning, I'm Nelson Patterson. I'm the President and CEO of Anavasi Diagnostics. And as was just shared, we are a molecular diagnostic firm with a miniaturized technology. I want to take you through, imagine yourself Monday after Thanksgiving. You've had a great gathering of what you thought were family members who were fully vaccinated, and you wake up with a 101-degree temperature, a stuffy nose, and a cough. What are you going to do? Well, if that were today, you would probably be making a decision about the type of diagnostic test you're going to get. And you'd have three options. You could get a rapid antigen test. It's speedy, but it's not accurate. Or you could go for the brain biopsy and get an RT-PCR test, and that's painful, and it takes a long time. And on top of that, it's fairly expensive. Or you could just choose to do nothing. But let me tell you what the future will look like. It's this device, the Asensio DX, our first product in the molecular diagnostic arena, designed initially for the point of care, but ultimately for the home. Results in about 30 minutes that are precise to the lab quality standard that you expect for PCR. It's easy to administer, and importantly, it's inexpensive. Our technology is a proven technology. We target the SARS-CoV-2 viral RNA, and we look for three specific sites on the genome, on the N gene. It's expandable, not only to influenza, RSV, and multiple other diseases that are common for centralized testing, but importantly, it also can not only detect, but identify COVID variants. We think that's important from an epidemiology standpoint. It's a low-cost, reusable device with a kit, and it's incredibly precise, able to detect the presence of the SARS-CoV-2 virus with as few as 25 viral copies. How does that compare to other products that are on the market? Well, versus antigen tests, not only are we more precise, there's no need to repeat the test. Versus some of the point of care or over-the-counter tests that you now see, like Q Health or Acula from Mesa Biotech, we have an ability to detect flu and RSV, and we're also scalable for mass testing, whereas those are individual devices that are thrown away as soon as the test is complete. And versus the market leader, the Abbott ID Now, we can detect the presence of COVID with one-tenth the viral load. Our testing to date is fairly detailed and extensive. We're a participant in the NIH's RADx program, which enables us to have access to a wide variety of contrived samples as well as live human samples. Our testing in over 1,200 samples has been excellent. As a matter of fact, the NIH and the FDA in our pre-EUA submission have asked us to please accelerate our development. In a live IRB-guided test sampling going on right now in Seattle, we have 100% alignment with the standard of care antigen comparator as well as RT-PCR. Our commercialization strategy is straightforward. We seek beachheads with a 3D strategy: displace, develop, and disrupt. Initially, we look at the market that you see here for point of care as our initial beachhead, going after urgent care and emergency departments that are needing this, as well as point of care facilities. We'll then move into an asymptomatic or screening population, and ultimately, the best disruption will be to take this device and enable a consumer to do it, to perform it at home. The economics of this product are very straightforward. This is a razor blade, quintessential. This is the razor. The razor blade is the kit, which contains a swab, some buffer fluid, our specialized reagent, and a small pipette. Each test, if it is just completed, each device, if it just has 1.3 tests done a day, that's 490 tests a year. That creates over $10,000 of recurring revenue per device that is out there. Importantly, we see this as a reasonable expectation. Today, there are about 1.5 million COVID tests that are being administered. And the forecast is that even in a period where we have low incidence, we'll continue to have an extensive need when people need to travel, when they need to go to large group events, when they are looking to interact with family. A test will be required, particularly as COVID variants expand and are present throughout our society and around the world. This really creates a very compelling model. Right now, we're only looking to put out 10,000 devices initially. It doesn't take much to figure out that's a fairly significant amount of revenue that occurs. As you expand and add new indications for flu, RSV, and potentially other areas, again, the growth is extensive. To date, we've raised $4.6 million, of which $400,000 is from the NIH and non-dilutive capital, and $4.2 million from individual high net worth investors. 85% of the equity is currently owned by founders, and we have no debt. Right now, we are looking to raise money to enable us to commercialize the product post our EUA clinical trial. We start our clinical trial next week at 3 different sites across the country, looking for 30 positive cases in order to file our EUA with the FDA. We'll use the money not only for people, but to expand our production and for working capital, as well as for promotion of the product going forward. Our leadership team is deep. My experience has been in launching over 6 different medical devices for companies like Aerogen, Sonosite, Baxter Healthcare. Our 3 co-founders represent academics, software, and engineering expertise at the University of Washington, at Microsoft, and at Simplexity Product Development, headquartered here in Southern California. Between the 4 of us, plus our extensive team of commercialization, medical advisors, we represent collectively over 350 peer-reviewed publications, as well as over 20 different new product launches. Asensio DX. We believe it is the right molecular diagnostic platform for the future. It's fast, it's inexpensive, it's precise, and it's easy to administer, which will enable consumers ultimately to take advantage of what currently they can't do anywhere but in a central lab or in a doctor's office. Thank you very much.